Hello, St. Louis, and welcome to OnSTL.com.
I'll tell you, there's nothing more satisfying in life to be reading a great novel, I mean a really fun novel, and then meet the man who wrote the novel, in this case a man, Howard J. Levinson, who happens to be from St. Louis. Is that right, Howard?
That's correct.
What area did you grow up in? You know, I didn't say what high school did you go to. I could have done that.
Unincorporated county out in West County. Yeah, close to Creve Coeur.
Guess the high school. So.
Yeah, guess that one.
Now, where do you live now?
Up in Florissant.
Oh, so you're still in town?
I'm still in town.
I can't believe it, considering all you've done.
Yeah, I'm still local. I moved away for a few years and came back, raised a family here, sure.
Okay. The book I'm talking about is called The Tapping. And I don't know how you did it. When I first was told what this book is about, the fact that it involves organized crime, it involves medical things, there's a little bit of Robin Cook in there, there's a little bit of everything in there, and then it involves the supernatural. And then you have Morris Green, your protagonist, who is Jewish. And you put all that together, and you have great vocabulary.
Well, thanks.
With MQ. MQ's vocabulary is hilarious. It's just fun to read. I think anyone would say, man, you're nuts to take that on and do it in 520 pages. Holy cow. But, man, it's a fun read.
I think they might stop at "you're nuts," but yeah, thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
How long did it take you to write 520 pages, considering all that you have in there and made it work?
Well, you know, I started writing this book probably over a decade ago, just in writing stories, kind of like fictionalizing some of the things that I've done. And so there's a little bit of some things that I've experienced in the book, and I would put it down and then do something else.
So, yeah, you worked in crime. You worked as an investigator. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you also have a medical background.
Correct.
So you are Morris Green, and you're Jewish.
Well,
so you are Morris Green.
I'm not Morris Green, but there is some of Morris Green in me for sure, and some of me in Morris Green.
Okay, so the missing link there is the haunting part, the tapping, the actual tapping. Was there a real experience there in your life that you're basing this on?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've worked some homicides in the past, and on occasion, you know, you would reach out to, a psychic or something like that, and you know, there's some things that we don't understand, and I think it would be myopic to say that we know everything about how things run. So, you know, when you come up against a wall and you talk to somebody who just says some things that you really wouldn't expect, you have to pay attention. And so I thought that would be a pretty good thread to weave into the novel, considering that the premise of the book is that the homicide or the detective gets killed at the same exact moment when these two children are killed. And then if souls meet somewhere as they're rising from the body up to wherever they go, could they meet and come in contact with each other and actually have a communication?
And in this case, he was revived.
He was revived.
He survived his own death, and this became a cold case.
Correct.
Because of his physical condition, he could no longer work really full-time as an investigator, I guess. I don't mean full-time, but could really do what the job he used to do, so he started working cold cases.
Yeah, he was injured significantly. It took a long time for him to recover, and in that time in which he was recovering, he couldn't work the streets and actually do all the things that it would entail. So he was an investigator and picked up just by chance a cold case of two kids that had been murdered, and it turns out that they were actually murdered on the same day he was shot and killed. Yeah. So there was a connection that eventually comes out in the storyline.
Now, I understand you also do music, and I learned this by going to howardlevinson.com just to learn more about you, and I see songs there.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of things going on all at one time. I've been juggling.
So medicine and investigative reporting, detective wasn't enough for you?
No, it's never enough. I mean, whatever I'm doing.
So you're very much like Howard Green.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a shark, I'm churning in the waters looking for something.
So who's Billy Coma?
Well, it was a punk band that I was in this goes back to like 70s and early 80s, and in St. Louis it was called Surgery. And then we changed in around 2000 to Billy Coleman. It's just a punk band, rock band, garage band. But then as I got older and I didn't, want to stand in front of a stack of Marshalls and increase my tinnitus, I started playing acoustic and got more country. So the last 5 years I've been going to Nashville and recording some country songs, and that's what's out right now. Although, coming up later this month, there's a Surgery reunion somewhere in St. Louis with a couple other bands that we played with back in 1980 in St. Louis when Steve Pick was writing the Jet Lag magazine and he was covering all these punk bands, of which Surgery was one. We're having a reunion at somewhere called the Curb Place. Anyway, so we haven't even practiced yet, but we're gonna. Everyone from the Surgery band is still alive.
Wow, that's good.
So we're gonna.
There's an
we're gonna
accomplishment
play.
right there. Okay, well, let me play agent for you or manager for a second, Howard. You have to start focusing. I mean, you're getting up there in the years. It's time to start focusing on what you want to do with your life. You still are involved. You speak on behalf of police officers. You speak to police officers,
yeah, I'm
right?
still I'm still working in the corporate sector as an investigator, and I maintain my police officer certification, and I teach at a police academy.
Amazing.
So I'm still involved in the business, but I'm not on the front line wearing the mask and holding the shield and toting a gun all the time. That's for the younger guys. But yeah, I'm still involved in law enforcement and investigating. Sure.
Well, The Tapping, as I said, is a really fun read, and I congratulate you on that. Will you have some book signings coming up?
We have one coming up in the novel Neighbor. I'm not exactly sure when it is. I should be better about that.
I can help you there. I think I wrote it down. December 14th.
Okay, that got rescheduled. So
okay.
That's why I don't. It's after the first of the year.
We'll find out for you.
Yeah.
All right, okay. But it is available throughout St. Louis.
It is. It's some of the independent bookstores
and at Amazon.com.
And at Amazon on Kindle too.
Good. Okay, it's called The Tapping. Howard J. Levinson, thank you so much for sharing that information with us today.
Thank you, Ron. It's really been a pleasure.
And today's segment is made possible through the generosity of the Medler Law Firm, proudly helping clients in the St. Louis area with automobile, truck, and motorcycle accidents. If you've been injured or your loved ones have been killed in an accident, call the Missouri Accident Lawyers at the Medler Law Firm today for a free consultation. Their number is area code 314-727-8777.